Minecraft mobs are all unique. Each has their own behaviors, functions, and backstory. Cows are passive and are used for food and leather. Creepers are hostile and will explode when they get close to you. Blazes fly and shoot fireballs at you. Some mobs are similar, however, like the zombie drowned and husk, or the slime and magma cube, or even all the cow variants. And usually, these mobs are similar in a way that is obvious and easy to understand. But there are two mobs that are in fact very similar, but don't seem so at all. And they're both the toughest mobs to beat in the game, the Wither and the Warden. In this video, we will uncover mysteries behind both, and we will find out why they might not be as different as you might think. And we're starting right now. Before we start with how they're similar, let's start with how they're different. The Wither was released into Minecraft in October of 2012. The Warden, however, was released in June of 2022. That's almost a 10-year gap between releases. The Warden only spawns by digging itself up out of the skulk in the deep dark biome. The Wither has 3 heads and can see out of all of them and can fire exploding skulls out of them. The Warden only has 1 head and can't see at all. It uses sniffing and its skulk antennas to sense things. The Warden is big and burly, but the Wither looks fairly frail. The Wither can fly and give you the Wither effect. The Warden can run fast and does a lot of damage when it hits you. It also has a ranged attack called a sonically charged shriek, and it gives you the blindness effect. Lastly, the Wither has 300 health, which is about 150 hearts, and the Warden has 500 health, which is equivalent to 250 hearts. Those are the major differences and they seem obvious. And just for fun, let's make them fight. Wither wins. But to find similarities, we'll have to look at both of their sources. The Wither comes from soul sand and the Warden comes from skulk. And the key similarity here is that they both have properties regarding souls. Soul sand looks like faces. Also, when you walk in it with boots with a soul speed enchantment, it releases souls. Skulk, however, feeds off of souls. When a mob dies near a catalyst, skulk spreads. So we now know that both mobs have a clear correlation with souls. But then what are these souls for? They might be the power source for both of them. I think this might be the case because of a number, the number 3. But why 3? Well, both the Wither and the Warden have the number 3. The Wither has 3 heads. The Warden has 3 souls floating around in its belly. Not just that, but it gives you 3 warnings before it emerges from the ground. 3 heads, 3 souls, 3 warning. What is it with these 3s? Let's come back to that in a little bit. To further understand both, let's take a look at their behavior. The Wither is determined to kill everything and cause as much destruction as possible. The Warden, however, is chill as long as it doesn't hear you or smell you. If it does, it becomes dedicated to ensuring your death. But there is a similarity here. They both will attack all mobs. They must not like them. But why do they attack all mobs? Other mobs like the zombified piglin will gang up on mobs that attack them, but there is no clear reason why Withers and Wardens attack everything. Actually, maybe there is, but it's a bit of a stretch. The word Warden is defined by the Merriam-Webster dictionary as one having care or charge of something, a guardian or a keeper. But of what? What is it in charge of, or what is it protecting? That might be for another video. In fact, both the Wither and the Warden deserve their own videos. Get subscribed so you don't miss out. Anyway, the Warden being a protector or keeper is a clue as to why it kills everything. It maybe does so because it's trying to protect something. So then why does the Wither kill everything? It's definitely not trying to protect anything, right? Right? Well, the Wither drops a significant item, the Nether Star. It's used to make beacons. I don't know exactly why it drops a Nether Star or why the Nether Star is so powerful, but maybe the Wither is trying to protect it. I don't know though. There aren't any other things that the Wither seems to be trying to protect. There's another thing. All the evidence points to both the Warden and Wither being artificial creations. The Wither especially, but also the Warden. First of all, the Wither is an oddly specific arrangement of soul sand and Wither skulls. I don't think it would have formed naturally like that. If there ever was an accident creating the Wither, it was with the Wither skeleton and not the Wither itself. The Warden is also some kind of creation, even if it seems to just be made of skulk. Remember the 3 souls we were talking about before? Well, 3s are not uncommon in Minecraft. Other than the 3 souls in the Warden's belly, the 3 mornings before the Warden emerges, and the 3 heads of the Wither, there are 3 levers in a jungle temple. That could be a coincidence, but there are also 3 Elder Guardians in every ocean monument. Conduits are the most powerful with 3 bands of prismarine around them. There are 3 dimensions, the overworld, the nether, and the end. A lot of enchantments go up to 3. Let me know if there are other 3s you know of in Minecraft. Anyway, the Warden emerges from the ground. It's made of what seems to be bone covered in skulk. It also has 3 souls in his belly. This doesn't seem to be a natural creation. It may not have been created by an ancient race in the overworld, but rather a race from another dimension. But that's another topic for another time. So we now have a clear correlation between the Wither and the Warden. Both have the number 3. Both seem to be connected to souls in some way. In fact, they both seem to be made of materials that absorb souls. Both have very powerful attacks as well as a lot of health. Both are hostile to everything. And both seem to be made by someone. So now that we know all that, what can we infer? Maybe they have similar origins or creation methods. The similarity of the 3s could point to that. The souls could be the source of their power. They may have even had the same creator. But maybe not, because Skulk might be from another dimension. But I have a feeling that both have inspiration taken from each other. Now that we've established a connection between the Wither and the Warden, I think we can establish a connection between their building materials, Skulk and Soul Sand. Both have obvious properties pertaining to souls. They both trap souls, but they are still different. Soul Sand slows you down unless you have soul speed. If you have soul speed on your boots, then souls will be released when you walk on it. I don't know how many souls are contained in Soul Sand because nothing happens to the Soul Sand, no matter how much you walk on it. Skulk, on the other hand, feeds on souls. It grows whenever something dies near a catalyst. It absorbs the soul. So we clearly have a connection between Soul Sand and Skulk. And the souls are the one thing tying them together. We don't know why these materials are similar, but the connection with the souls is not a coincidence. A connection between the Soul Sand and the Skulk is a connection between the Wither and the Warden. So what do we know now? We have established a clear connection between these 2 mobs, but what does it mean? We know that these poor unfortunate souls are a key element to both of these mobs. We know that Skulk absorbs them and Soul Sand releases them. I wonder what other connections there are between Skulk and Soul Sand. I want to talk about Soul Sand for just a second. When you walk on it, it slows you down. Maybe the souls are trying to grab you for help, which slows you down. Also, netherwort grows on Soul Sand, which is a crucial ingredient in potion brewing. Maybe the netherwort feeds off the soul power. Not to mention Skulk also grows from soul power. So we now know that souls are likely the source of power for both. I don't know of any other mobs in the game that are powered by souls. With all this in mind, I think that both the Wither and the Warden are created with the same design methods. I don't know about the same creator, but definitely with the same design language. I don't think that they are the same type of mob, but I do think that they are similar in these multiple ways. Souls have a significance not just to these mobs, but to all of Minecraft's lore. Whatever secrets Mojang is hiding, they better hide them carefully, because it might become clear in the future. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know if I missed anything, or if you have a different theory. Let me know your ideas down below. I really hope you enjoyed watching this theory video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time with the next theory. Bye bye!